Hello fellow painters and welcome back. Now, who said that Beastmen must be painted in a typical brownish color scheme? Not me, that's for sure. I was scrolling through Pinterest in search for some inspiration and stumbled upon an AI generated pic of a Beastman that caught my eye. And let me tell you, it's similar to that one that we are gonna paint today. It just goes to show that if you are ever lacking inspiration, those AI picks can be a goldmine for boosting your creativity. So grab your paints, brushes, and let's start. Alright folks, let's dive right in. First up, we are going to grab our Vallejo White Ink and load it up into the airbrush. This is going to be our key tool for creating those eye-catching highlights. I'm going to apply it over a black primer to really make those colors pop. It's all about creating that zenithal highlight to enhance the depth and shadows on our miniature. I'm reaching for Ami Painter Majestic Fortress. This lovely shade is going to be our go-to for all the flash elements. With a gentle touch from the airbrush, we are going to soften those transitions from the zenithal highlight and blend it with the black primer for a richer blue-greenish tone. It's all about achieving that perfect balance. Now let's bring out the muscles and add some definition. Enter Army Painter Elemental Bolt. With precision, I'm going to accent all the body elements, really bringing out those muscles and contours to catch the light just right. Next up, we are going to add some extra dimension with Army Painter Psychic Shock. This is where we really start to see things pop. I'm focusing this on the most raised elements of the body, strategically reducing the sprayed areas to create a dynamic contrast. Now we are getting into the nitty-gritty. If you oversprayed some elements and need to fix those shadows, fear not. A quick pass with Army Painter Majestic Fortress from below the miniature will do the trick, fixing those shadows and bringing everything back into balance. Lastly, let's add those final touches of light. I'm grabbing my Vallejo White Ink once more and focusing on the most raised elements of the top part of the miniature's body. This is going to give out those beautiful light reflections that really make the details shine. Now let's armor up our miniature with some serious style. I'm reaching for my Army Painter Crusader skin, and this is going to be our main color for all the armor elements. But here's the trick. This color can be a bit transparent, so we will need about 2 to 3 layers to really get that solid coverage. But be careful, not to overpaint it too heavily. We want to keep an eye on those shadows from the zenithal highlight and maintain that depth. Next up, we are adding a touch of sophistication with Army Painter Tyrian Navy. This deep dark shade is perfect for some of the cloth elements. It adds a subtle variation without straying too far from our color scheme. Plus, it's so dark that it can easily be mistaken for black, adding a bit of mystery to our miniature. Now let's bring some fiery intensity with Army Painter Blood Red. This is going to be our go-to for all the red elements of the clothes. But here is the key. We want to work with the zenithal highlight to blend the red with the black, creating a strong, deep black reddish shadow. If you're unsure about the intensity of this color, don't hesitate to thin it down with some medium to achieve the perfect balance. Time to give our miniature some killer looks. I'm grabbing my Vallejo Dark Sea Blue, and this is going to be our main hair color. With careful strokes, we will bring those hair details to life, adding depth and dimension to our miniature. And last but not least, we are going to add some pop to our weapons and horns with Vallejo White Ink. You might be wondering why we are going this now instead of earlier. Well, let me tell you from experience, painting without a handle can lead to wear and tear on certain spots. So it's better to pre-highlight them later on to ensure they stay crisp and vibrant. Now let's give our miniature some regal touches. I'm picking up my Army Painter Sand Golem, and this is going to be our main gold color for the weapon handles and accessories. The pre-highlighted zenithal highlight we did earlier will blend here perfectly, transitioning from black through brown to yellow, creating a rich and luxurious gold tone. Next, we are going to make those gold elements really shine with Vallejo Golden Yellow. With a delicate dry brushing technique, we will pull out the edges and create a stunning gold tone. If you are looking for a more detailed version of non-metallic metal gold, be sure to check out my older material. The link will appear at the top of the screen, so don't miss it. Now let's add some extra sparkle with Vallejo White. I'm spraying and painting this on all gold elements to create those eye-catching light reflections. It's these details that really make our miniature stand out. Moving on to the blades, we are going to add a touch of Caribbean Ocean. With several layers sprayed on, this will perfectly blend from black to white, creating a cool, non-metallic metal. Just be sure to apply nice, thin layers for the best effect. Let's not forget the hair. I'm grabbing my Vallejo light grey and using it to highlight all the hair strands. This subtle touch adds depth and definition to our miniature. Now onto the horns. I'm starting with Army Painta Satchel Brown as the first color. This dark brown tone will give us a solid foundation for those brownish horns. Adding depth to the horns, I'm spraying Army Painta Fire Drake as the middle tone. This step really brings out the richness and texture of the horns. And for the final touch, we are going to spray Army Painta Pallid Bone as the brightest tone on top of the horns. This will give them a striking contrast and make them really pop. Now let's finish the horns with some Vallejo Bone White. With a careful dry brushing technique, we will highlight all the raised elements, adding that extra bit of dimension. Now onto the leather elements. Citadel Karak Stone is our go-to here. A dry brush over all the leather elements will pull out those edges and create a fantastic texture perfect for painting leather. Alright, now it's time to highlight those red parts of the clothes with Vallejo Scarlet Blood. We will focus on edges and raised elements to really make them pop. For the deep shadows on our leather elements, we are going to strengthen them with Winsor & Newton Burnt Umber. This oil wash will blend and deepen those shadows for a more realistic look. Let's blend those transitions from black to red and strengthen the deep shadows on the red elements with Modeler's Black Oil Wash. Be sure to thin it down with some mineral spirit for a smoother application. For this step, I grabbed my Vallejo White Ink and loaded it into the airbrush. Carefully, I sprayed it over specific areas of the model's body, focusing on elements that will catch the most light. This pre-highlighting technique will help enhance the overall effect of OSL on the miniature, adding depth and realism to the final result. Moving on to the next step, I took my Vallejo World Purple and prepared it for application. I applied this vibrant hue to the areas designated for OSL, ensuring to blend it seamlessly with the surrounding colors. The Warlord Purple serves as the primary color for the OSL effect, infusing the miniature with a captivating glow that brings the scene to life. Continuing the process, I prepared my Vallejo Squid Pink paint and loaded it into the airbrush. With careful control, I sprayed this striking color onto the designated light source area, ensuring a smooth and even application. The Squid Pink adds a vibrant and captivating hue to the light source, enhancing the overall realism and intensity of the OSL effect. In this step, I focused on the intricate details of the horns, where glyphs are present. Diluting Vallejo White Ink with water to achieve a smoother consistency, I carefully filled the glyphs with this thinned down mixture. This technique ensures a precise application, bringing out the intricate design of the horns with clarity and definition. Once the white ink has dried on the glyphs, I proceeded by applying Vallejo World Purple to the horns. Using the airbrush, I delicately sprayed this color over the designated areas, aiming to create captivating OSL effects. The warlord purple adds depth and dimension to the horns, enhancing the overall visual appeal of the miniature. With the Vallejo Warlord Purple laid down, I turned to Citadel Full Grim Pink for the next step. Carefully I painted this vibrant hue onto the raised elements of the object source lighting, simulating the reflection of light. This subtle touch adds realism and depth to the OSL effect, creating a captivating interplay of colors and highlights on the miniature. In this last step, I introduced Vallejo verdigris to add nuanced details to the skin. Focusing on specific areas, I applied this color to mimic light reflection, enhancing the realism of the miniature. The subtle use of verdigris brings depth and dimension to the skin, contributing to the overall dynamic appearance of the model.
I hope you have enjoyed this one. If yes, as always, do not forget to like the recording, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and I will see you the next time. Bye bye!